Most people who come to me have already done quite a bit of healing, or some form of healing anyway. And they've read the books, they've had therapy, they've processed some memories, and they understand why they are the way that they are, and they have an awareness around who they are and why things are happening. And for the moment, something shifts. They feel lighter, they feel clearer, they feel hopeful that things are going to change. And then they go back to life, back to work, back to their relationships, back to pressure and responsibility and expectations. And suddenly, life feels hard again. And they're still trying hard. They're still managing themselves, they're still regulating themselves, they're still getting triggered and still having to think about what's actually happening rather than just being able to respond. And that's when people get frustrated, right? They think, I thought I'd healed this. Why am I back here again? What's wrong with me that this keeps happening and keeps coming back? And I just want to let you know nothing is wrong with you. And what is happening is actually quite simple. So healing creates insight and awareness. And life runs on integration. So insight alone just doesn't survive pressure, right? We need to integrate it. So your nervous system doesn't care what you understand. It cares what's actually been trained inside of you. So when you step back into real life, your system defaults back to what's familiar and not what's true. That's why it feels like effort. That's why it feels like you're constantly working on yourself. That's why it feels exhausting. You're trying to live a new truth with an old operating system, and that operating system needs to be revamped. And that's where recalibration and integration comes in. Integration is where the body catches up to the mind, and recalibration is where your baseline actually resets. So it's the difference between I know I'm safe and my body feels safe and knows it. So before I explain why this matters so much, I want to give you something simple that you can feel right now. Okay, it's not a technique to fix yourself. It's just a small doorway into regulation. So it's about breath work. So you take a nice slow breath in through your nose, let it fill your ribs and your chest, your diaphragm, and now slowly exhale through your mouth and make it like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Now you want to make the exhale longer than the inhale, and then pause at the bottom. And then